Hi, and welcome to Designing with Casual Elegance. I am your host and interior designer, Susan Sage. You know, I love all things about design, except one thing that I'm just do not love and I'm not very good at, and that is floral design. So that's why today I have our special guest, Beth Kastl, who is going to do some beautiful arrangements for spring and Easter. So I'm going to turn it over to Beth and let her explain what she's doing with each of the different florals.
Well, good morning, and today I want to show you how simple it is to add decorations for the all of the seasons, that you do not have to be a designer to do this kind of thing. It is just putting things together, and it doesn't have to be permanent. It can be just stick things in, and that's what I'm going to show you with this basket. We're going to kind of concentrate on Easter because it's the coming up season, and I just was going to start with this basket. Baskets are very, very easy to work with. This little bunny is just propped up on some styrofoam so that I can raise it, so it's going to be the feature for this basket. Okay. And then I just want to take some grasses. See, and this grasses, nothing's done to it. It's just like you buy it from the store.
So is this going to be like he's in a meadow?
Yes, it's going to be, you know, and I'm just going to stick this in here like this to give it some greenery.
You've got a variety of grasses.
Yes,
that's kind of how they grow outside.
Yeah, and you can just get any kind. This kind of grass you can get at Hobby Lobby. A lot of mercantiles that'll sell that. So, and I'm just going to give this guy a pasture kind of to be in.
Kind of like out where he's living.
Yeah, yeah. I hope you can see this. Okay, and then I'm going to add some floral, just to kind of tie it in. And I'm just sticking this in here, and it doesn't have to be stable enough that you can't change it around. And then I've got some forsythia, just little stems that I have cut off of a big bush. And because forsythia is one of the flowers that is the first to bloom in spring. And so we're just going to put some color in here with the forsythia.
You know, this is a very large basket. Where would you use it, or
well,
if you were doing it for yourself?
Yeah, if I was doing this I'd probably put it on my front porch.
Okay. Does it need to be covered porch?
I would think so, because these florals they're
delicate.
Well, the flowers would, if it got rained on, it would be
not pretty.
Not very pretty. So, and you can get this kind of florals and this kind of things just about any design store, or Hobby Lobby is my go-to place.
I noticed in that last one you put in that you had it folded up, so it must have had a really long stem.
Yeah, and so what I like to do is, because I change things around a lot, and because, you know, as the seasons change, I might use the same flowers. Now, I'll use these for spring, and maybe on a wreath for the front door or whatever. So I don't cut the stems unless I'm doing a pot, and I'll show you a little bit later how I cut them to do a pot. But so I try to keep all of the stems, and if it's not the level of height that I want, I just bend it like this and stick it in. See, and I think anybody can do this kind of thing. I mean, you do not have to be a designer to do this. I mean, and it's one of those things that is just temporary, sort of.
I still couldn't do it. I think they don't like me, but that's okay.
The thing about floral is and especially with silks, you can just do almost anything with them. I do a lot of fresh flower, and it is very confining compared to what you can do with silks. So,
Well, silks, like you're showing, you can bend them, you can shape them.
put them where put them where you need them. Now, can everybody see the bunny? Yeah.
Oh, I think bunny looks good.
Okay. And because bunnies like carrots. Now, where did we ever come up with that? You know, bunnies don't eat carrots.
They don't.
Rabbits.
I didn't know that. Oh, rabbits eat carrots. Okay.
And so I'm just going to put this in, and you could take this out after Easter so that you would have, and use this basket for something else. Spring, it's got a lot of spring flowers in it, so you can just use it over and over and just kind of change. The next feature might be
Sunflowers?
sunflowers or something like that. So.
Yeah, as you start getting into summer, you know, the pansies are gone, your cool weather plants are gone, so, you know, it's like you start turning to the hot weather plants.
Since I was doing that from the back, I was going to just see what it looks like from the front. Okay.
Oh, I think he looks
Yeah,
good.
it looks okay.
Yeah.
But we'll just set this down, and see, this is
Here,
so
I'll take 'em.
easy. It's so easy to do, and wouldn't that look nice on your front porch?
Absolutely. It'd be a nice welcoming.
Yeah. Now I want to show you a more fixed arrangement. And I started this, but what I do is just I take the color of flowers that I want to, like on my table for the kitchen or dining table, and I kind of wanted it to, but you could get flowers. You can get flowers to match anything in your decor. This just happened to be the pinks that Sue had, and she wants to use this for her table, and so we've kind of put it together. But I just take the hydrangeas, and on this kind of arrangement, you have to cut the stems, and because in here is the I used styrofoam on this one,
Okay.
but you can use Oasis, and it's a little softer. But these stems on hydrangeas are pretty stiff, and so you need something very stable to sit it into.
The one thing I don't like about Oasis is it's sticky on your fingers. It has a funny feel. I think styrofoam works better. And I use styrofoam mainly as risers.
Yeah.
When I'm, you know, especially if I were doing something on top of kitchen cabinets and the crown molding comes up, that's my expertise.
You know what?
with
I just got a
styrofoam.
new refrigerator, and I had all this styrofoam. I wished I'd give it to you. I'm just cutting. I love this eucalyptus type leaf, and because it's just springy, and it just fills in really good. And I'm just putting around the edges and kind of bending it down, so that it would cover up the Oasis, because you want to cover. This is kind of part of the mechanics of doing a full arrangement, is that you need to cover up whatever you're using to support your arrangement, which is we call mechanics.
And so this one you're going to see all around because it's going to be the centerpiece for our table.
Yeah. So we can turn it all around.
And all of these beautiful hydrangeas and eucalyptus bunches came from Avenue Design. They have some of the most beautiful florals.
Yeah. We got what we call reindeer moss that kind of covers it up. It looks like this, and it's very pliable, and it works really good just to kind of stick in on the edges so that your styrofoam doesn't show.
Do you like that better than sphagnum moss?
Yes, sphagnum moss gets messy.
Yeah, it does.
It sheds and it gets off on the table and everything. And then these little stems came with this.
Well, then that gives you the height. You know, they're always telling you it needs to be so many times higher than your container.
Yeah, and you need, you just need the freedom of space in some of these
Make it a
things.
little airy.
Yeah, make it more airy and everything.
Yeah.
And I think we probably have enough flowers in here. And we might put another one right in here.
Yeah. Yes, that's good.
Fill in that. And we have one more flower that we will cut the stem on and put down there.
Absolutely. Use them all up, make it big.
Now, these stems are, some of them are very heavy, so she's got heavy-duty pliers for me to cut this. And they work really good. See, I think there's a space right in here that because it's going to be all the way around, that we need to cover that space. Isn't that beautiful?
Okay, you also have these beautiful ribbons. Are you
Yeah.
going to use that in there?
Right. You can put ribbons. It depends on what your decor is, but Sue's had this beautiful ribbon that I'm going to steal one of them to take home.
It's her pay.
Yeah. And you can just stick a ribbon in here to make it, and I really need a dowel, but just to make it look like it is, you know, more floral or more Eastery or whatever you want it to look like.
And then I think after Easter, I'll take the bow out and
Sure.
still leave it on the table.
Yep.
You know, but this gives you what our color theme is going to be for the table that we're going to set.
Right.
Our whole theme, we're going to do a dining table, we're going to do a dessert table, and, you know, things that come up. So I think you have one more?
Yes.
One or two
yes.
more?
Yes, I'm going to show you. Just hand me that little basket right there. This is just very, very simple. This is just a little basket with a bow on it, and we just got some Easter grass put in there, and then some eggs. So it was, and this would be great just on your on a side table. Even you could use this if you have a small table in the kitchen. You could just use this to decorate, or even on your front porch if you have a bench or something that you'd want to set that on.
Okay, this is my speed. Put some grass and some eggs, and I'm done. That works well.
Okay, I wanted to show you another thing to do with baskets. This is a bunny that my sister gave me for, I think it was for my birthday. But anyway, and it's just sitting. It's just sitting in here, and this is a big basket.
Are you still counting birthdays?
I am. Everyone is a good one from here on out.
I agree.
So, and this would be so simple. You can put some more grasses in the front, because this is a deep basket, and so you can stick these grasses way down in there. And this, you probably even could put outside on the porch, and if it got wet, it wouldn't hurt it.
Yeah, I noticed that the basket is plastic lined, so you could even put a live plant in there.
Yes, yes, you could put. And then forsythia is just the color for spring. And so I'm just going to put some forsythia back here. And I love purple and yellow together.
You know they're opposite each other on the color wheel?
Is it? Are they?
Yes. So they, of course, will enhance each other because they are opposite. Same thing with your kind of reds and blues are opposite. And granted, that's more of a salmon, but, you know, same thing.
Yeah. That's a good, you know, I always try to decorate with my colors that I use in my house. And so when you go looking for flowers and things like that, try to tie it into what your other decor is. And then that way it's lasting, and you can take it up and down and store it until the next spring. And let me cut this out. I had a helper that put all of this together.
That's a good thing.
There she is. She came to my aid.
Can't help it, I'm an organizer.
I know it. I took all these flowers to her house, and we kind of went through what we were going to do. And then I left them in her house, and when we brought them in here, they were all put together. So that's a very good way. We might show them that,
Yeah.
you know, when you want to store your flowers like this, instead of just having them all loose all over the place, use a ribbon. She used a ribbon.
And a twist tie.
And a twist tie. And it kept them a lot more organized.
Well, it makes it so much easier when you go to grab it out of your container that you're keeping them in.
Yeah.
And, you know, so you have a whole bunch and you can look at what you've got, you know, lay out your bunches.
Yes.
Kind of like when you're Christmas decorating, you put all these ornaments together, all these ornaments. Same thing for spring and summer. I like this. I love yellow and purple. We are getting ready to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to set a table for you and give you some tips on entertaining, how to set your table, do a dessert table. So we hope you'll stay with us and come back, and we'll go into our next segment.
And I hope everybody can see how easy this is to just put together. You do not have to be a floral arranger to do it. It's just look at your nature in your yard and see how things are growing, and then that just kind of duplicate that.
We just want to throw all this in here.
So we are
We're clear.
going to take a short break.
Welcome back. You can see that we have switched over our table, and we are going to set for Easter or any spring entertaining that you might be doing coming up this season. And we're starting with the beautiful floral that Beth made. And then I've added a couple of Easter eggs. Wonderful little battery-operated candles. You know, what's nice about these, they can be remote or they can be 6-hour. And then, of course, we have a nice candle ring. And then we'll put our little egg. Don't know that you can see the light coming through on the set, but really looks great for dinner. So I think that's the base for our centerpiece. And do you know how to fold napkins?
I don't.
Okay, we're going to do a little napkin folding. So what I have here, just a regular napkin. Let me tell you, when you're doing napkins, it's important to know how the weight or how stiff your napkins are. What I'm going to do here is make a bow. So make your triangle, fold down, take your long piece, roll it. Then you're going to fold both ends in. This one.
Okay.
This is soft, so it'll go into the napkin ring very nicely. As you'll see with the next one, not so easy, but that's okay. Not the next. And then pull your tails in, out.
Oh, I love that. That's pretty easy, too. I think I can
It
do
is
that
pretty
one.
easy. Well, I can't do florals, but I can do napkins. I can set a table, but you do beautiful tables too. And there you have it. One way to do a napkin. And then another, this is really easy. This is not a real stiff napkin, so I am just fan folding. You know, a lot of times I'll just take a napkin and plunk it into the water glass or wine glass. This is a way to make them look pretty. So you fan folded, oops, and then you take your napkin, and you almost have to fold it up a little bit so that it stands out, and you see a little fan.
Well, that's neat, too. That'll make a
Easy.
statement on the table.
Anybody could do this. The other one that I'm going to do, just like my little napkin holders over there, folding the napkin in half and then fan folding. Now this one is kind of stiff, so it's a challenge to get through our little ginger jar napkin ring. But the napkin rings were so cute, I had to.
Oh, I love
Bring 'em to
these.
show.
Yeah,
I
these
know,
are
aren't they
really pretty. And you
really-
got these where?
Avenue Design.
Avenue Design.
Yes. So we have this wonderful little ginger jar. Now you know why I prepared the other three. Fan fold. And open it up. Again, very easy. But like I said, you really need to know the fabrics of your napkins. Okay, we're going to move forward and start setting our table.
Okay.
So why don't we go ahead and can we get 2 in front? Want to do another charger. And then a dinner plate.
I love these plates. You know, I love beautiful dishes. And so many are not using what they have in their, if they don't go in the dishwasher, sometimes they don't want to use them. But I just think it's beautiful to use what you have. Irma Bombeck always said, if you don't lose it, you're going to lose it. And so I think that that is very important to make things nice.
Well, I agree. You can't take them with you.
No, no.
So, okay, so we have our charger, we have our dinner plate, now we have our salad plate, and on top of that, we're going to put our napkins. Do we have?
Oh, yeah. Do you have another one of these?
Yeah. There. Okay. Now, when we do our silverware, I am a little particular. So I have little knife holders, or I forget what you call them. Anyway, to set your knife on so that you're not getting all your butter all over. And when you are doing silverware, and a lot of you may already know this, but knife and spoon have 5 letters, and so does right. So your knife and your spoon go to the right side. Fork and left have 4 letters. Your forks go to the left side. And if you have dessert, fork and spoon, they would go up on top. Okay. And we have our soup spoon and our spoon, our normal everyday.
Yeah, and I noticed that you're mixing like the gold with the silver. I think that looks great. That you mix it. You don't have to have everything that just matches perfect. I mean, it just goes together, and I think it's beautiful that way.
I agree. I see no reason. I actually have a pair of earrings that do have gold and silver mixed together. They're my favorites, but they're pretty dressy. Okay, we also have bread and drink, and I don't know how many of you know this little tip. D&B. Drink on the right, bread on the left. So if you ever are standing there going, oh, where did my drink go? Where does my bread go? Always remember. Okay, and then we have our coffee cups. What are they laughing at? Okay. So we have our coffee and our water or wine, whatever you prefer. We're going to run out of space. Okay, another water. And then, of course, your little bread plate goes on the left. Okay. Ooh, that needs to be cleaned.
That looks so pretty.
You know, I love the colors. You know, and adding this it's kind of a celadon green, I think really helps make it stand out because the blue in the dishes is kind of a blue-greens. You know, it's not a pure blue like our little ginger jars or our container. Okay, so we have bread and drink. And Easter treats. So let's get our little peeps up on top. And you know what would be really fun to do with these? If you are having children for dinner, to do the little plastic eggs and put a surprise inside, I think would be a lot of fun. It's one way to keep them engaged. Of course, then they wouldn't concentrate on their food, I guess.
Kids always like sweets.
Yes, they do. So give them to them. I'm gonna just put
especially
them
on
top of the
Easter.
bread. Yes. You know,
Halloween,
they can't wait.
Easter, kids all get high on their chocolate and candies, and so.
Okay, and then we do have our sugar and creamer, which we can just put out in front.
Yeah,
And we know, fork-wise, gotta find. You have your smaller salad fork, your dinner fork. And because you start from the outside going in, your salad fork is on the outside. Okay. Our knife rest. Anyway, you get the idea of what we're creating here. Now I'm going to talk about serving. Depends on, you know, some people like to do a buffet and some want to serve family style. If you are going to serve family style and you bring your dishes onto the table, I think the best way to let people know what each dish is to have a menu card.
Right.
And I think I have a sample. It's not filled out, but you can just take a little menu card and you could do one for each place setting, or just do one on each side of the table.
Yeah.
And let people know what they're going to be eating. That way, if there's something they don't
I
like, they can pass.
I kind of like to have my table all set up and then have a buffet, and they go get what they want, and then the table can stay real pretty, and they can get the amount they want and what they want.
And they can go back for seconds.
And they can go back for seconds. Yeah.
Well, then let's set up a buffet table.
Okay, I think that would be good.
All right, we have some of these. I'm going to move over. So we have these wonderful market signs. I mean, I love these and use them all the time. So I've made one for our menu. We're going to have ham. And we'll use our serving platter, which maybe we want our salad on the end. What I've done here, I've got the tall market stands, and I love these. I use these all the time whenever we have a party. That way people know, again, what they're grabbing. But I like to mix them with something smaller so that you don't have just a line of big signs.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, these are wonderful little place cards. Very hard to find these days. I did find them at Avenue Design, and I have two different ones. I have the rabbits, and I also have eggs. The nice thing about these cards, you can stand them up, and you don't really need a place card holder.
Yeah.
But I like the extra height of the place card holder, and probably makes it easier to read. Yeah, since we don't use place cards to tell people where they need to sit anymore, I mean, we might, but I don't. And then we have perhaps a potato dish, our rolls, and vegetable. Now, the other thing you can do, you know, I've got a cake plate over here. You could use this for your rolls, you know, and of course, cake plates come in handy for many, many things. You know, whether you're going to put cookies or a cake, whatever. So, again, just a lot of fun. And
Well, and you've made this very simple. I mean, most everybody has some china stuck back in their armoires that they haven't used forever. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think that it just makes things special. And holidays are special. And that's something that everybody looks forward to is Easter and Christmas and everything. And you can, and makes it so nice. So nice.
I agree.
I
And even a special occasion, surprise your husband or partner and just do a beautiful table.
Right.
You know, why not? Do a nice
Right.
dinner and relax. And it could be in the middle of the week. You know,
Right,
it doesn't even
right.
have to be a weekend.
No.
Yep.
So,
Growing up, we would go to Grandma's house every Sunday. Remember those days?
right, I do. Right.
I don't know that
My
people
mother,
do that
she
much
always
any-
took the preacher home every Sunday. So,
Yes, so we don't do that so much anymore.
No.
But I think we should still create beautiful dinners, and
right.
even if it's just two of you, or if you're just having another couple friends over.
Right.
And I do like to do that, even if we're going to be grilling outside. There's no reason to not create a beautiful table
Right.
and still have fun napkins and
Yep.
all those goodies. The other thing I want to say before I move on to our dessert table is there are several of these items that are made in the USA or not made in China. And I love that. I try to look for that, but it's not always possible. Fortunately, our little place card holders and our brass napkin rings, our little ceramic napkin rings are all, our place cards and place card holders. The place cards are actually made in the USA, which I think is great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep, we gotta
So we're going
concentrate
to
on
move,
that.
we're going to move over to our dessert table. And so what I have here, I love this piece. I have no idea how old it is, but I put nice little doilies on it. Cookies. Here we've got little mini chocolate cakes, pretend. We've got napkins and little dessert plates. And then we could put our cake plate back over here for our almond strawberry cake. And Gentleman Buddy is guarding it so kids don't come and try and eat the sweets before their dinner. So I want to thank you all for joining us today and hope you enjoyed this. And will join us next month when we'll be doing color schemes. So thank you. Bye.